Welcome back to Warrington Basketball. It's been a long time, I think, since we last done a video. We will be continuing with our chat with Adam and Ellis from last time, which was college in America. Adam, Ellis, how are you boys? You all right?
Yeah, we're good. We're doing good.
So for those that have watched, obviously it was the transition of going over from the UK to Presentation College in America, and then kind of the setup, really. So I suppose this being part two, it's kind of how long have you been over there now, boys? How long has it been?
About 5 months, just over 5 months, I think. No, 4 months.
4 months.
4 or 5 months, yeah.
Obviously, it's been up and down with the season getting started and stuff like that with all the COVID drama. But it'll be good, I suppose, to check in with you boys, see exactly sort of how you feel and how it's all going. I tell you what, Ellis, you start us off, mate. Just give us a bit of a rundown of what life's like now and how the season's been going so far.
Okay, so life's a lot different now. It's like a very big step. It's a lot different from being back home, even just like the basketball standpoint. The way that it's played is a lot different. The whole environment's a lot different, especially where we are, like a very rural area compared to where we were back home. It is like a big jump. And then the level of basketball as well is a lot different. In that case, that like people don't really understand. Like when people say like English basketball is a lot different to American basketball, people like kind of be like, yeah, I guess so. But like it's very different. It's a lot more fast paced. So I'm still adjusting to it now. I don't think I'm fully adjusted to it yet. But it's going well though. It's a very big jump where it's like an enjoyable jump. Like you can like enjoy it. It's been my dream for a long time to come to play basketball in America. So I'm just trying to make the most out of that. Obviously when you're out here you will miss home and stuff, but life's fine. The schedule's quite jam-packed of all this. Like we have a lot of training, we have a lot of weightlifting, we have a lot of extra skill sessions and shooting sessions and stuff, so it's rare that you get a day off, but I guess that's good in a way that you can develop more. I feel like I've developed a lot since I've been here, and it's only been 3-4 months, so I mean that's good, but it's just like it's very busy and stuff like that. So I'll let Adam talk about more. He might know a bit. He might have a bit more insight to that. But
yeah, Adam, how are you finding it?
It's just it's just like what Alex said. You don't really understand the difference until you come over here and play it. And like I remember when we were running scrimmages right at the start, like you quickly learn that everybody can make shots. Like in England, you can sort of like hone in on a couple of guys. Like if we stop this guy, we'll be good. And it's sort of still like that. But the role guys are just so much more talented. Like just because it's just natural to them. They've been playing it for so much longer. So like the role guys will make shots too. That's the main difference, really. I think of.
What do you think of the school side? So the other side, obviously not just the basketball. Tell us about like the school life.
School life is pretty. I don't think it's the same way uni would be thought of like in England, because in England it's mostly like lecture things, but there's more like classes over here and like just normal lessons that you'd like associate with college or high school or whatever. So it's a lot more. I'd say it's a bit less independent than you would imagine it to be in England.
Yeah. And what's so say if you're not in class or you're not playing basketball, what's your life like then? What is it you're doing? Is there much to do where you are?
There's not much to do like outside of the college, but like we can go in the gym whenever we want, and there's not really much time outside of basketball. Like we'll probably only have maybe like an hour or two free until we have to do something. So we don't really have time to fill. So it's not really too much of an issue that there's not much else to do. Yeah.
Tell us, so you're both on separate teams, is that right, Ellis? You're both in. Tell us a bit more about that.
Yeah. So in America, I know that they have like a JV and a varsity team in college, especially in the NAIA. It's like more like a development team. There's like two different teams basically. I'm on the varsity team. Obviously, Adam's on the development team, like the JV team. I won't even say it's a development team because everyone's like, as Adam said before, like everyone's good. Everyone's really good at basketball. It's not like one needs to develop more than the other. Like, obviously, like, I would say Adam's on my level. Like, we're all like that, but it's just like the coach has split the players that he's brought in into different teams. And it's kind of like, that's kind of good in a way, but he did bring in a lot of players. So obviously we do have to split it up because we can't all have these players on one individual team. But the schedule is a bit different. I mean, most games are played at like around the same time anyway. Like, obviously Adam had a game on Monday. We have a game on Tuesday. And then obviously prior to this week, we've got a few more games and stuff, but it's fine. I mean, like, people, like, there are maybe people like who might need to develop more before they go onto the varsity team. Obviously that's going to be natural. Some people might be too good to be on the varsity team. Like, you never really know, but it's just like whatever coach thinks best fits the varsity team, he's going to use obviously them players and play them in their roles in hopes to win the game and have better chances of success. So I mean, that's fine. I mean, I understand it. There's like obviously like more practices, like our practice, and then Adam will come in with his team and practice straight after us. That's kind of how it works. Sometimes maybe like when we're in weightlifting in the gym, like maybe like only the varsity guys will go in, but then the JV guys will come in an hour after us, or we're all in together. Like we're all like, we do have two separate teams, but we are all one team together as like presentation. Like it's one team.
Yeah, people going up for like when varsity got injuries or whatever, people in quarantine. There's like 3 or 4 guys from the JV team who will go and practice with varsity and things like that. Yeah. So it's not like they're two separate.
Yeah. Tell us a bit about life. So how was the adjustment? You know, when you first got out there to America, what was the biggest differences in, you know, how did you sort of cope with it?
That was hard. I'm not gonna lie, that adjustment's hard. It's not, I wouldn't say the adjustment is what people would expect it to be. But I know there's a lot of kids back home playing basketball now in the same clothes as me and Adam have played in, etc. and stuff like that. But when like you think about basketball in America, people think that it's like, I don't know, like there's just a different side to it than what people actually think it is. Like, it is hard work, and like to be successful in America as like a player is very difficult, because obviously Adam said before, like everyone's good. Like every player here is good, you know, and then like every team we play against are really good. Like there's no like, I remember when we played in the ABL last year, there were some teams that would be like, yeah, you're like, we'll beat them by 40. That'll be a blowout game. But then there's nothing like that here. Like you just don't know. Like you could like, there's never a team that's really like an easy win, you know. And that's the biggest adjustment, is like there's no like slacking, there's no coasting, there's no like, right, I'm just going to have like a couple of days off this season because I can relax. We got an easy game on Tuesday. No, it's never like that. And I think that's probably the biggest adjustment for me, is that it's just not as easy as what you would expect it to be. Like there's never a day where it's like, oh, I can just coast this one. Like you're always grinding, you're always getting better. Like it's just constant work.
Yeah, and also people, like you hear people say the European game is more like skill based, and then like the American game is more like athleticism based, and that's quite like a consensus view. Like everyone sort of like understands it, but like once you get over here and you see, and you're just thrown into it, like from an athleticism standpoint, like it's just a different level, and that's a level that I need to get to. Like that's one of the main reasons why I'm on JV, is because I just need to reach that level first.
What's how do you find it living away from home, Adam?
I don't find it. I'm quite easygoing, so I don't find it too bad. But like obviously, there's back at home I miss. But what can you do? I'm here now. Yeah.
What's the schedule like? How busy is it? What time off will you get like in the future?
What do you mean? Sorry.
So like, will you get the opportunity to come back for Christmas, or will you have like a busy schedule over Christmas time?
I think, Ellis, you've got 10 days off for Christmas, don't you, or something like that? Are you coming home?
Yeah, I got 10 days. Yeah.
Yeah, I I'm not coming home. I've got a little bit longer off with the JV, but I don't think I'll be coming home because obviously my sister's over here too. So
Yeah.
she's got like a little like foster family sort of thing going on in Kansas. So I'll probably go over there because it's just so expensive to come home.
Yeah, I bet. What's your plans, Alice?
So I get the 16th of December to the 26th
Right.
to come home. So I will be coming home throughout those whole dates, just spending time with the family. Only issue is those 10 days are going to go really quick, and then you realise that you're coming straight back, and then it's another 5 months before summer. So it's going to be quite tough. Like, it is quite tough. Like, for me, living away from home, I'm finding it harder than I thought I would, and like I feel like everyone has a little bit of that. I mean, Adam might not have as much of missing home. I don't know if he expected him to miss home more. I don't know obviously what he feels, but like with me, I thought I would be a lot better. But it's like some days there are slow days, and it's like, like constant work, and then you're tired, and you go to bed and you wake up and it's back to it. But then like you have slow days, and it's like, you do miss it. You miss the family. Like when you got your mum calling you every day, trying to talk to you, like, and then just gets a bit emotional by the end of every call because, you do miss each other and stuff. Like, it does get like that. I know obviously only 10 days, it is 10 days. Like, it's okay, but like, obviously you would always want more. Like, you would always want more. I feel like Adam might want more than what he's got, and he gets like almost a month. So, it's just like, just make the most of it. I'm just going to make the most of it when I come home, spend time with the family, and then I'm looking forward to coming back, obviously. And then finish the season off strong. So that's what my mind says. Like,
are there any other Brits on the team?
No, there's 2 other international guys. Well, there was one guy from Hong Kong, but he quit after like the first month or whatever, and then the other big guy is from the Dominican Republic.
Right. Okay. So how have the rest of the team taken to you boys?
Fine. I'd like to think fine anyway. I think we're all good with each other. We're all cool. There's no one there's no one sort of left out or whatever.
Yeah.
No, there's never any like beef on the team. Like, it's all just friendly,
So for the younger guys that are thinking about obviously coming over to America and doing the same thing, going to college, I know obviously in the past video we talked about how it all come about and how you got there. But from experience now, what would you most focus on? Say if you could go back in time, and then what would you start prepping for to then be ready for obviously playing college basketball? Adam, you go first.
Like I said before about the athleticism, just over in England, I sort of just relied, especially like the last year or the year or two when I moved to the one, I just relied on being like a tall guard. But over here, like, you've got to be a tall, athletic guard. So I would. I remember speaking to Dom after the end of my first year, and he was like, "Yeah, you really need to start like smashing the gym." And obviously, I knew that, but I didn't really take it seriously until like sort of my third year. So that 1 year of just smashing it in the gym really would have like prepared me for this like season, and maybe would have put me in the varsity team rather than JV right now. And also, you need to be able to understand the game too. Like, because there's so much that they're going to throw, especially as a freshman. There's so much like offense, the offensive game plan, and just the offensive game that the coach wants you to run. And the same as on the defensive end, there's just so much they're going to throw at you in like the first month or two, ready for the season, that you really need to be able to like understand the game to be able to take that all in and use it when you get on the floor.
How about yourself, Alice?
No, Adam's completely right. I feel like with like the younger people now that want to start getting into it, like from any age really, as soon as you start playing, it's a lot more important than just like being a good basketball player. Like, you've got to be an athlete. Like, there's some people out here that are just freak athletes. Like, I thought I was athletic. Like, there's people that like really like would like dog you if you're not there athletically, if you're not strong enough, if you're not big enough, like they'll get you for it. So like, I feel like one of the most important things for younger people is like try and manage that time of like getting in the gym as much as you can, eating as healthy as you can, but eating as much as you can. Like, if you got to gain weight, you got to gain weight. You got to commit to that. Like, it's a commitment. Like, being an athlete is a commitment. Like, there's no really slacking off. Like, you want to track your calories every day. You want to do things like that. Like, trust me, like when you go to college, like hopefully like you will go to college, and in America, like these coaches will be on your ass like that really quick. Like you can beep that out, but like they will be on you really quick. Like as soon as we got out here, my coach was like, right, we need to get, this calorie tracker app, MyFitnessPal, and you've got to track everything you eat every day. You're going to make sure you get your target. If you don't get your target, that's it. Like you're not, like, that's not good. And stuff like that. Like, and then obviously like there's a lot of work in the gym. Then like you do learn a lot of new things in the gym. Like if you're that guy if he catches you in the gym and you're not that strong, or if you're one of the ones behind, it'll make you pay for that. Like, so like if anything I could say now is just be on your grind all the time. Just focus on yourself, focus on your body, but obviously like, focus on your basketball. Like whenever you get the chance, just play. But it's not as easy as people might think. Like they're going to be on you really quick about stuff like that. Like you've got to be an athlete.
What do you think, besides, so obviously you've got the biggest difference being, like what Adam said about athleticism, what are the other sort of big differences from what you were playing to what's now? Like what surprised you the most? Obviously, like Adam said, we always think as American ball is going to be physical and athletic, and everyone's like on a different level. But what has surprised you the most since coming in and playing over in the States?
I think it is literally the physicality and athleticism of these players. Like it is a war. Like it's not like you're guaranteed to come out with like covered in cuts, and you're guaranteed to bleed every practice. Like there's no messing about. Like you're gonna be hurt. Like there's no sympathy either. Like if you get hurt, if you get punched down, if you get hit in the nose, no one cares. Like no one's coming to save you. Like that's probably the biggest thing for me is like in England, like if someone like, I don't know, like I wouldn't say it's softer, but there is a massive difference to it. Like you would think that these players in England are very physical. Like obviously when I played with the men over the summer in the scrimmages and stuff, like I thought that was very physical. Like I was nowhere near that. This is 10 times worse. Like it's a lot more of a physical game. Like people rely a lot on their athleticism and the skill set. But obviously, like, as I said before, how everyone's athletic, but everyone's got a good skill set as well. And I feel like if like they're the two things you've got to work on, and you've got to have good IQ, you've got to be good at basketball, but you've also got to be physical. And that's a big thing that I've learned. I'm finally starting to be more physical now, and I'm becoming more successful at that. But like at the start, like they'll catch you for that. And like if they know, like if they get an instant like click that like, okay, you're not physical, you're just soft, they're gonna bully you, and they will bully you until like you can't take it anymore. Like that's like the biggest thing for me is like the physicality of it. Like especially it is me as a 5, like being 6'10", there's another 6'10" guy, there's a 6'7" guy, and it's like you just don't expect it to be like that physical. Like it's just like compared to England, the way I played in England was a lot different to here. In that I would use my skill set more. I would use all these spin moves in the post and stuff. But over here, it's like I've got to barge through. Like I've got to get to the rim. I've got to finish strong for an and one. Like that's how it's not. It's not like skills fadeaways anymore. Like that's not how my game is. I mean that's my biggest adjustment right now. I've got to get used to that.
How about yourself, Adam?
Like I said before, just the shot making. Like everybody will make shots, and there's no like. Everyone's got to be able to defend because there's no easy matchups. Obviously, there's going to be easier matchups, but there's no easy matchups. Everyone has the ability to score. No one's going to hide from the ball. That's the main. I'd say.
What's your main targets then for the rest of for this season?
I just want to keep getting bigger and stronger. Just working in the weight room. Just trying to prepare for the next season and sort of like keep practicing with Varsity when I can, and just try and break into that roster completely. I don't expect to play on the Varsity roster is very, very heavy with guards. Like the star guy is a guard, and then there's a couple guards who don't even get in. Yeah. So I'm not expecting to come in and play 20 minutes a game or whatever, but I just want to try and break into the Varsity roster.
How about yourself, Ellis?
Quite similar to Adam. I think being a freshman, like it's important to just start learning the game, start getting used to it, and then obviously like trying to gain weight. Like I've got a lot bigger now, but I'm still trying to gain weight. I'm nowhere near where I should be. You know, being like 6'10", 215, I should be about 240. So I'm trying to gain as much weight as possible. I'm trying to eat, and just getting better. Like just getting more used to like just simplifying everything. Like and like as me as like an individual player, like, I'm trying to simplify just going into like 2 different moves, like hook shot or a drop step, like nothing else. Like and just kind of keeping it simple and just master them type of things first. Because you can be so dominant if you like can master 2 things. If you've got one move and then one counter, you can be so dominant if you just like completely get those down. And I feel like that's what I'm trying to do at the moment, because I feel like I just do try and overcomplicate things like I did like last year. Like I did a lot of different moves last year, but this time it's just more just like keeping it simple and just keep getting better, keep building relationships with the team, trying to get more minutes every game, and just trying to make a name for myself as well. I think that's quite a big thing for me, is just trying to get my name out there, just getting noticed, to be honest.
All right, well, I think we'll have to check back in again as in another month or so, see how things are going, and we'll try and get some more feedback for you guys. And obviously, for those that are wanting to follow both Adam and Ellis's careers, sure you can we'll put your Instagram all over the show, and yeah, follow them along. Thank you very much for watching. We will catch up again with you guys soon, boys. Thanks for coming on.